an Egyptian ship has delivered a significant consignment of military equipment to Somalia. Security officials in the capital, Mogadishu, are quoted as saying, Somali Defense Minister Abdulkadir Mohammed thanked Egypt in a social media post without especially mentioning the weapons. This is the second such delivery from Egypt in a month as relations deteriorate between Somalia and its neighbor and former close ally, Ethiopia. Egypt, and a long-time rival of Ethiopia, has taken the opportunity to move closer to Somalia, stoking concerns about rising tensions in the Horn of Africa. The military cargo carried on a warship that arrived on Sunday, including an anti-aircraft guns and artillery, the Reuters news agency reports, citing security and port officials. A BBC reporter in Mogadishu himself saw weapons being transported through the streets of the city. In his post on X, Mr. Noor is pictured with his back to the camera looking at a docked naval vessel. Somalia has passed the stage where they were dictated to and awaited the affirmation of others on who it will engage with, he wrote. We know our interests and we will choose between our allies and our enemies. Thank you, Egypt. The sentiment is a result of shifting alliance in the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia has for years been a staunch backer of the government in Mogadishu in its fight against Al-Qaeda-linked militia group Al-Shabaab, and Somalia is furious that landlocked Ethiopia signed a preliminary deal at the beginning of the year with the self-declared Republic of Somaliland to leave a section of its coastline. Somalia sees Somaliland as part of its territory. So, we already have a lot of issues in Africa. And our people, or Africans, in most of the African countries, are suffering because of the ego, because of some stupidity of some of the leaders. Some African citizens are suffering because some of our African leaders are puppets. Most of African countries are suffering because the organizations we have, which are the ECOWAS and the African Union, almost fully funded by the West, can't even represent our interests, both domestic and at international level. So what we don't need at this point in time is for this tension to continue and lead into something else. Ethiopia and Somalia should sit on a round table and find a solution and meet each other at the middle. Because the way the both of them are going, if care is not taken, this will escalate. Somalia should not forget that for over 20-something years now that there have been a war in Somalia, Somalia has not been the same. The last thing Somalia need at this point in time is another war. And on the side of Somalia, concerning Somaliland, Somalia should understand that Somaliland has the right to decide whether they want to, of which they have taken this decision long time ago. Is left for Somalia to accept it. But come to think of it, is because of what this Somaliland possesses, what they have on their land. That is why Somalia as a country don't want to let Somaliland to go. But you can't force anybody to be part of you. That is just the realities of life. You just have to accept it and move on.